Go for it. Right, so I get a call on my phone from the Sun newspaper. Yeah. And he's like, "Oh, hello, is that Richard?" I'm like, "Yes, that's me." And he's like, "Oh, yes, it's James calling from the Sun newspaper." I'm like, "Oh, yeah, brilliant." Like, yeah. The first thing I want to just say is this is a big chip. I was like, "Yep." Do you still have the chip?
I knew they
Oh,
would do that.
no.
I knew they
And
would ask that.
I knew they were.
I know.
you did
And I
ask
said to him, I
gosh.
know I don't have it. I didn't think it was going to be this big of a deal. And he said, "You've possibly got the world's biggest chip and you ate it."
When I found the world's biggest chip, I was absolutely taken aback. My dad almost fainted. It was unbelievable, astonishing. I've never felt more on top of the world, really. I eat chips more often than I probably should do, but I think that's a thing that everyone can get away with occasionally. I wish I'd kept the chip because my friends have said, oh God, you'd be able to take pictures with the chip, etc. But it did make up at least 17% of my dinner. I wasn't really going to let it go, and it was a marvellous chip. The chip tasted better than other normal chips I've had, but it's the only world record breaking chip I've ever had, so I didn't have anything to compare to. I bought the chips from Asda in Clacton-on-Sea. With the world record breaking chip, we had hash browns, which was a nice mix of potato and potato.
Or a Malteser was another story. You know, Jesus in a piece of toast, all of that. I love those sorts of stories. And Victoria told us the other week, Smithy, about the giant hula hoop, which got a lot of attention on social media.
Didn't it? But there's more.
The story deepens here because we're going to talk now to Richard Leigh Flurry, who's had a dinner time to remember after finding a huge oven chip in a bag bought from Asda in Clacton. It was a whopper, Smithy.
How big, Sonia?
More than 8 inches long. And Richard was so impressed that he emailed The Sun. The Sun newspaper was so impressed it sent a photographer to his home in Holland-on-Sea, resulting in a series of chip-related photos. And the paper reckons Richard's big chip has broken a record. And Richard is with us now. Good morning, Richard.
Good morning.
Good morning. Tell us about the big chip.
Hello. Oh, it was unbelievable. You've never seen anything like it in your life, I guarantee. As we said in the Sun newspaper, we got out of the oven. My dad almost fainted. He couldn't believe how big it was. I couldn't believe how big it was. It was threatening, intimidating, all the things you want in a chip. It was the best day of my life.
The paper's actually printed a sort of scale model of it, 20 centimetres, 8.1 inches actual size. So it probably took up most of the plate, didn't it, Richard?
Yes, it was absolutely fantastic. I've got the paper here. Commiserations to the lady on the same page that my dinner has overshadowed, but I will buy her a bag of chips in solitude. But 20 centimeters actual size, absolutely fantastic. So we opened the bag, as you do, put the chips on the tray, as you do. In the oven they went. We didn't really understand the magnitude of the situation at that point. The chips came out of the oven, dishing up. We just thought, oh my God, this is going to change the world. We didn't know whether the world was ready at that time to see such a whopper, but my dad and I agreed in solidarity. It was the British public's tough; they can take this, and here we are. Well, they've got Boris Johnson's wedding on the page behind my chip, so commiserations to the Prime Minister. I will buy him a bag of chips as well.
Thank you, Richard, for joining us and making our day this morning. Minister of Chips. Round of applause to Richard Leigh Flurry from Holland-on-Sea for being such a good sport and having a bit of fun as well. His story of a giant chip. No official record, Smithy, for that, but the papers love that sort of thing, don't they? And he has been given the world record, according to The Sun, for having the largest chip, 8.1 inches. Translated to 20 centimetres.
Richard Leigh Flurry telling us there that he wasn't aware of the magnitude of the situation as the chip was being cooked, and it wasn't until it was ready to eat that he fully appreciated how big, threatening and intimidating it was.
So on a serious note, well, we can talk about big foods, but I was sort of thinking, producer Ian, of taking it down the when have you had a surprise...